Hi everyone, I'm Khouria Destinie, and thanks for tuning in to PNP Kids. I'm really excited to be here with you. As you know, Valentine's Day is coming up, and what is it about Valentine's Day that we think most prominently? I would say is that we show our love to the people in our life, right? Whether that's our friends, our family, a husband and a wife, people in our lives that we love. And so I love embracing Valentine's Day and all of the hearts and flowers and beautiful things. But there is something that I want to tell you about that you may not know about. So the day before Valentine's Day is the feast day for Saints Aquila and Priscilla. I'm going to show you today just a little example of what we do on special feast days. So we plan to make some heart-shaped Pop-Tarts and have a tea party, and we're going to invite some friends over as well to enjoy the feast. So in today's episode, we're going to be showing you how we set up for our tea party. We're going to be cutting up some fruit using cookie cutters in the heart shape, and we're going to make some heart-shaped Pop-Tarts while we learn a little bit more about Saints Aquila and Priscilla. So I hope you stay tuned. Here's what we got. So here are the ingredients needed for Pop-Tarts. You'll need pie crust, cookie cutter in the shape of a heart if you have one, some jam or jelly of your choice, 1 egg, a fork, and something to brush the egg wash on. First things first, we'll need to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we laid out our pre-made pie crusts and began cutting them into heart shapes. We have cookie cutters that we use to do that with. Next, you'll need to fill half of the hearts with a small spoonful of jam. We decided to use some fig jam that someone made us. Next, crack an egg and break it up. This is going to go on the sides of the jelly hearts. So next, we just add a little bit of the egg mixture to the sides of the dough hearts that already have jelly on them. Once you're done with that, you're going to take the other half of the dough hearts and you're going to gently press down on the sides. Then, using a fork, you're going to press down on the sides and leave little fork marks all around. Don't worry if some of the jelly squeezes out, that's okay. Now, once you have the Pop-Tarts formed, we're going to transfer them to a prepared baking sheet. Place the sheet in the oven and set a timer for 10 to 12 minutes, depending on how much time it needs. Now keep watch after 10 minutes to make sure they get a little bit brown on top. That's what we're looking for. And then take them out of the oven and transfer them to a cooling rack if you have one. Now, this is going to take a little patience, but you'll need to wait about 10 minutes so they can cool down before we add the next step. Now, while the Pop-Tarts are baking, we made a simple frosting. You'll need half a cup of powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of milk, a splash of vanilla, 1 drop of red food coloring, if you want to make them pink like ours. And then mix it all up. Okay, now you're ready to decorate them. All right, now we're ready for our tea party. Now, in our family, we love celebrating the feast days with a special tea party. That's not how everybody does it, but we wanted to show you a little example of how we celebrate the feasts. So for Saints Aquila and Priscilla, we set up a little heart theme Valentine's Day tea party. So we're going to be serving our heart-shaped fruit, our heart-shaped Pop-Tarts, and serving some chamomile tea with honey. During our tea party, I will typically read the lives of the saints that we're celebrating. So if you'll stick around, listen, I'll tell you the story of Saints Aquila and Priscilla. On February 13th, we celebrate Saints Aquila and Priscilla. They were a married couple who lived in the 1st century in Rome. When the Emperor Claudius ordered the expulsion of all the Jews from Rome, they fled to Corinth. There, they earned their money making tents. A few years later, they welcome a stranger, a fellow tent maker, the Holy Apostle Paul. He stayed with them as well. He spoke to them about Christ, and his words kindled genuine love for the Lord in their hearts. Some even say that it was St. Paul himself who baptized them. St. Paul stayed in their hospitable home for more than a year. When later he left for Asia Minor, Saints Aquila and Priscilla followed him. For some time they remained in Ephesus and continued to spread the good news of the resurrection of Christ among the local pagans. When Emperor Claudius died, many of them returned to Rome, including Aquila and Priscilla. The Holy Apostle Paul visited them and spoke to them about the lack of spiritual shepherds in Asia Minor. The holy couple volunteered to go, and Aquila was consecrated a bishop. They brought many to the true faith, tirelessly laboring among idolaters. Eventually, they were martyred for Christ. Now, I hope you enjoyed our tea party and watching us make some fun little treats for the feast. So as you are approaching Valentine's this year, I want you to especially think about the people in your life who you love, and make sure you tell them that you love them, find ways to show them that you love them, and especially remember Saints Aquila and Priscilla and how they love Christ and they serve the church. So perhaps for their feast day, think of a way that you can serve the church this week in particular to honor them. So thanks for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. I hope you'll join us for our next episode. So be sure to subscribe to Patristic Nectar Kids YouTube, and we'll be sure to see you soon. Bye.
Just in time for St. Valentine's Day, Patristic Nectar Publications is pleased to present Enduring Love, Laying Christian Foundations for Marriage. Marriage preparation, together with the sacred institution itself, has fallen on hard times in the post-Christian West. It is more important than ever for couples to saturate their hearts and minds with the glorious vision of holy matrimony presented by the Church in holy tradition and lived by countless saints. Here in these pages, couples will find inspired teaching from the Holy Scriptures, the writings of the Holy Fathers, and the service text of the sacrament itself on how to live in a genuinely Christian marriage in which the home becomes a domestic church. Through enduring love, may God inspire the hearts of those preparing to be married and also those already married who would like to deepen their union and render it more pleasing to God. Available now at Amazon and Barnes & Noble.